Jeff Causey, Head of On-Water Operations for INEOS. We went a long way offshore today in search of breeze. Can you just describe the weather scenario and why we had to do that?
Yeah, it was a tricky day, I suppose, from that standpoint where there was almost nothing in the bay all day long, but we saw an opportunity to go outside the bay, and it was either go to the far east or go to the far west. Initially, we thought we were going to be on the east side around the cliffs, and as it turned out, the breeze we were getting was sort of west of Calafiguera and sort of in between there and El Toro. So that's where we ended up.
In the end, we did get some decent breeze. We had to wait around a little bit for it, and it seemed like there was a struggle to get foiling in the really light stuff. Was that part of today's mission?
Yeah, and especially being outside the bay, it was an opportunity to look at some takeoffs and things in sort of lighter breeze and in some messy sea state, so it was good. It was productive.
Now, you guys have had quite a long break from sailing. Can you talk about that a little bit? Just give us a feel for what that was about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in the shed at the moment, so trying to get that balance right between spending time in the one design boat and then, you know, keeping the development projects moving forward that we want to launch soon. So that's really what that's about, and it's been, I guess we've had an opportunity with the weather as well over the last kind of week and a half that's made it easy to make that decision.
Because the weather's not been ideal for sailing?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some days on the windier end, and just with all of the things that we're juggling, you know, it was easy to sort of decide to focus on what we're doing in the shed.
Let's just quickly go back to the capsizer T6. You were heavily involved in the coordination of that operation. I guess you've done debriefing it now. Has a lot been fed back to the other teams on that?
Certainly a lot has been fed back internally. I don't know how much of that I don't think there's been really an official format between teams to look at the event that I'm aware of, or that I've been part of.
With some big lessons learned, maybe?
Yeah, definitely internally there's been a lot for us to take away, both for the remainder of our training program in the small boats and into the big boat as well, so that's good.
Now, T6, what's the update on T6? What can you tell us?
Watch this space. She's coming back soon.
Okay, so until she does, we'll continue to see the AC40 as your boat?
Yeah, I mean, we're taking, again, there's obviously an opportunity there where we're trying to get T6 both, well, there's clearly some damage that we suffered in the capsize that we need to recover, and we're mostly through that, but it lined up, as it turned out, the capsize with an upgrade period where literally 2 days after the capsize we were planning to shut the boat down for these last 3 weeks anyway, so we're nearing the end of that period and hoping to get the boat on the water soon with a handful of upgrades, and in the meantime it sort of made sense to continue sailing and get the training in on the AC40 and commission that boat, so we're ready to go.
And final question, where do you feel as a team, where do you feel you are against your plan? Are you ahead, behind, just where you want it to be?
I think you always feel like you're behind. That's my experience. So it's, you know, this is a massive race against the clock, and you'd always like to be ahead of where you're at. But I think generally, you know, certainly even over the last couple of weeks, capsize included, we're where we thought we'd be in terms of being able to launch some of these upgrades in the next sort of few days.
That's fantastic. Thanks for talking to us, Jeff.
No worries.